Hello, welcome back to Learn Oikonomia. In this video, we are going to discuss public revenue concept. There have been different types of public revenue. We are going to see the difference between tax revenue and non-tax revenue and how tax revenue is being divided into direct tax as well as indirect tax revenue. Tax, as we all know, is a compulsory payment which is made to the government by the people or companies without having any kind of direct benefit in return. The sum of all the receipts from taxes and other kinds of duties under government are referred to as tax revenue. They are either direct tax or indirect tax. It is a main source of regular receipt of the government and is categorized into direct tax or indirect tax. What are direct taxes and what are indirect taxes, and what is the main difference between direct tax and indirect tax? We are going to see that here. Coming to direct tax, this kind of tax is imposed on the property as well as income of an individual and company. The direct tax are paid directly to the government by the companies and by the individual. The income level as well as the purchasing power of the people are directly influenced by direct taxes. It also helps in changing the level of aggregate demand in the economy, and direct tax systems can be progressive, regressive, or proportional. Coming to indirect tax, this can affect the income and property of an individual and a company through their consumption expenditure, and indirect taxes are imposed on goods as well as services, and these are compulsory payments as in the case of direct tax. Coming to non-tax revenue, we have seen the tax revenue and now it is time to see non-tax revenue. What is non-tax revenue? Non-tax revenue is a recurring income that could be earned from sources other than taxes by the government. These are not generated by taxing the public. Some major sources of non-tax revenue are interests that are received by the government through the loans provided by the state governments, union territories, private enterprises, and the general public. Then we have power supply fees, which would include the fee received by the central power authority of a nation. And in the case of India, you could see that this would include fees received by the central electricity authority. Now we have fees, which are charges that cover the cost of recurring services that are provided and imposed by the government. And this is a compulsory contribution as in the case of tax. And then we have license fee, which is a kind of tax which is charged by the government and its allied entities for conducting an activity that could be anything such as opening a restaurant or opening a vehicle, heavy vehicle, etc. or operating a heavy vehicle, etc. Okay. Then we have penalties. This is used in both civil as well as criminal law, which would be both monetary as well as physical forms of punishment. Then we have exchange, which is a transfer of exchange assets or property to government if an individual passes away without leaving a legal bidding will or legal heirs. Several grants are received by the government from various kinds of international organizations as well as foreign governments, and these are not fixed sources of revenue and generally received during the national crisis, war, flood, etc. Then there is forfeitus, which is the loss of any property without compensation as a result of defaulting on the obligations of a contract, or a penalty for illegal conduct. Under the terms of contract, this particular kind of non-tax revenue refers to the requirement by defaulting party to give up ownership of an asset or cash flows from an asset as compensation for resulting losses to the other party. Then we have interest, which would comprise of interest of loans, insurance, etc. given to the government for non-planned schemes and planned schemes. And this interest on loan, and this would also cover interest on loans that have been advanced to public sector enterprises or other statutory bodies. Then fees for communication services would also come under this, which would mainly cover license fee from telecom operators on account of spectrum usage charges that licensed telecom service providers would pay to the government ministry that handles telecommunications. So that's all. I hope you could get an idea regarding the different kinds of revenue, a difference between tax as well as non-tax revenue. And I hope it was a good session. So I hope I could understand it. I could make you understand this concept clearly. If you consider this video as good, you can like, share, and subscribe this channel. And I welcome you to my Telegram group and Telegram channel to discuss your doubts. I'll be providing the links of the same in the description box. Thank you.